We're entering the final stretch of the season, and the tension is palpable in every stadium as the Premier League reaches matchday 36. With the title, Champions League spots, and relegation hanging in the balance, every point is now a matter of survival. Today we'll break down the matchups that will determine the fate of the standings, where accumulated fatigue clashes with the urgency for glory. Before we dive into the data and picks we prepared for this weekend, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to what awaits us on this decisive matchday. Burnley vs Aston Villa. Turf Moor opens its doors for a match where the need for points is one-sided. Burnley heads into matchday 36 with its relegation to the Championship already mathematically confirmed. With just 20 points from 35 games and boasting the league's worst defense, the Clarets are on a 9-game winless streak and have lost 5 in a row. For the home side, the rest of the season is simply a matter of pride before bidding farewell to the Premier League. Aston Villa arrive with morale sky-high after a historic week. Not only are they coming off a 4-0 thrashing of Nottingham Forest to seal their spot in the Europa League final, but they now have the Champions League within reach. Currently in 5th place with 58 points, they are tied with Liverpool in the fight for that all-important 4th spot. With stars like Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers in top form, Villa knows there is no margin for error against the bottom dwellers. It's a golden opportunity to punish the league's most fragile defense and make a statement in the race for Europe's top competition. Prediction: under 3 goals. Aston Villa's away form has gone from strength to weakness this season. It's a telling statistic. They went from a spectacular run of 5 wins and 14 goals in 7 away games to recording 2 draws and 4 losses in their most recent 6 away matches, in which they've managed to score just 3 goals. The team has lost its scoring punch on the road. For its part, Burnley isn't exactly in top form either. It has lost 4 of its last 5 home games, scoring just 3 goals and conceding 9. But the most important factor for our bet is that, during that stretch of home matches, only 1 game saw more than 3 goals scored, and they even put up a strong defensive fight against a visiting team as strong as Manchester City. The reality is that, although Aston Villa could turn things around, they currently don't need a rout to meet their objectives. Securing the points for the Champions League is enough for them, and they can focus on their Europa League final. Crystal Palace vs Everton. Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace arrive with tired legs but high spirits. Just this Thursday, they secured a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Shakhtar Donetsk to advance in the Conference League. However, in the Premier League, the Eagles sit in 15th place with 43 points and are coming off a tough 3-0 loss to Bournemouth. With survival virtually assured, the big question is how much Glasner will rotate his key players, such as Jean-Philippe Mateta or Adam Wharton, following the exertions of European competition. Meanwhile, David Moyes' Everton arrive with their morale boosted after snatching a 3-3 draw against Manchester City themselves. The Toffees sit in 10th place with 48 points and still hold a mathematical glimmer of hope for a European spot. With a dominant record, Everton arrive well rested and with their finishing sharp, averaging more than a goal per game. While Palace deals with the aftermath of European action and potential rotations, Everton looks to deliver the final blow to join the conversation at the top of the table. Prediction: under 10.5 corners. If we analyze the trends for both teams, the numbers suggest that the line is set higher than what they're actually producing on the field. Crystal Palace averages 9.2 corners per game overall in the league, but it's important to note that that figure drops to 8.2 when they play at home. For its part, Everton maintains averages of 9.40 overall and 9.5 on the road, numbers that, while seemingly close, have plummeted in recent weeks. In fact, Everton is currently averaging just 3 corners in its last 6 matches. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace is averaging 4.3 corners in their last 6 league matches. When we combine these current trends, the numbers fall well short of the 10.5 line we've decided to take. With Palace's European fatigue and an Everton side attacking more directly and less down the wings, we expect a match with very little action at the corner flags. Nottingham Forest vs Newcastle. Nottingham Forest arrives with mixed feelings. On the one hand, the team is in its best form of the season, having won 4 straight league games and gone 10 matches unbeaten, including that recent, convincing 3-1 victory over Chelsea. However, the main goal for Vitor Pereira's squad is to put the bitter pill of their Europa League elimination behind them. Now, with their Premier League status secured and free from continental distractions, Forest aims to close out the season in the best possible way in front of their fans, proving that the project is more alive than ever. On the other side, Newcastle arrives at a critical juncture. The Magpies are in free fall after stringing together 4 losses in their last 5 matches. This slump has sent them tumbling to 13th place in the standings, leaving an impression of defensive fragility and a lack of creativity. Prediction: under 3 goals. Let's go with what might be the riskiest prediction of the matchday, under 3 goals. At first glance, it seems crazy because, in Newcastle's last 5 matches, only one had fewer than 3 goals, the rest were split between 1 that went over the line and 3 that would have been under. For Forest, the story is similar, with only 1 game under 3 goals and the other 4 exceeding it. However, there's a strange trend with Nottingham Forest that we can't ignore: their lack of scoring punch at home. Despite their overall good form, they've averaged just 1 goal in their last 10 home matches. Forest knows how to impose a very tight style at their stadium. They don't score much, but they also don't allow many goals, resulting in the under 3 goals line being met in 7 of those last 10 home games. West Ham vs Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal head into this match under immense pressure. Following Manchester City's victory over Brentford yesterday, the Gunners have seen their lead cut and know they have no room for error if they want to win their first Premier League title in more than 2 decades. The team is led by Victor Gyökeres, who is in top form having scored 9 goals in his last 12 matches, and features the key return of key players like Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz. For Arsenal, a win at the London Stadium is a must if they are to lift the trophy. On the other hand, West Ham is living a nightmare. The Hammers have slipped into the relegation zone following their recent loss to Brentford. With just 3 games left to play, Julen Lopeteguy's team is fighting for its life. A loss today could be the final blow sending them to the championship. However, they are no pushovers. They are coming off wins in their last 2 home games against Wolves and Everton, proving that they bite at home. An electric and hostile atmosphere is expected, with West Ham desperate to get a result against the league leaders to climb out of the relegation zone. Prediction: Arsenal double chance and under 11.5 corners. It's true that Arsenal have struggled in their most recent away games, but we need to consider the context. Their latest setbacks came against world-class opponents like Manchester City and Atletico Madrid. If we look at the bigger picture, the reality is that before that 2-1 loss to City, their last away defeat was on December 6 of last year. The Gunners' consistency on the road is impressive, and it's hard to see them dropping points against a team fighting relegation. In the corner market, the statistics give us a lot of confidence for such a long line. West Ham averages 10.8 corners per game, a figure that seems high but drops dramatically to 9.6 when they play at home. For its part, Arsenal averages 9.4 overall and drops even further to 9.3 when on the road. That wraps up our analysis for this Premier League matchday. If you found the data and statistics we covered today helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss next week's analysis. See you in the next video, and enjoy the game.